right, and good evening, everyone. Ed Raymer here with you for the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and we're here for the balance of the hour here at 8 o'clock once again on a Sunday night. We've got a great guest lined up for you. Shay Woods is running in the 15th District, and she's on your screen right now. You can see her if you're watching YouTube Live. We're going to get into all that, Facebook Live, whatever. Shay, how are you doing?
I am well. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Yes. I'll take it. By now, most of the festivities are
coming to an end.
Already coming to an end or at an end or whatever, and everybody's home resting up. We certainly hope so. Mm-hmm. And Shay comes to us. How long have you been here? She's a product of the Chuck Berry Club out of St. Louis, Missouri, one of my favorite cities, because that's how I learned to play guitar, was through Chuck Berry. And how long you been here with us?
So I've been in Rutherford County for a total about 8.5, 9 years.
Okay.
I've been in Murfreesboro too.
Right.
So
Murfreesboro too.
I was in Smyrna before I came to Murfreesboro.
Right. Okay. And you are running for District 15.
County Commission.
County Commission. And I know, folks, everybody's told me I messed up on Facebook. Okay, I'm sorry. I apologize. So my fault and my I think they say, was it my bad?
My bad. I guess I can forgive you.
Whatever.
It is Sunday.
Okay, whatever. I see Angela Bingham's been talking to you again.
Yes, she has.
I know she has.
I listen well.
She steals all my guests. Sure, yeah. Angie and her. Angie Renee's all right. Is it Renee?
Yes, it is.
It is. Okay, I got it right this week. Angie Renee, they're two peas in a pod. I can tell you, they're good gals, and I'm going to mention them a little later here. I'll tell you what. Let's give Shay maximum yield of our time if we could. Connor's on the board, and my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I am, for right now, still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your Good Neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS.
That is a little rock and roll to kick off your Sunday evening. Once again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. This is Ed Raymer for the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I am your host, and this show is produced here at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, 101.9 FM, right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. You can reach us tonight. You can reach Miss Shay at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. And you can also send us a text to that number, and our producer will be glad to read it over the air. For those of you who do not wish to be heard live on the air, if you're a little too high or too shy, we understand. My guest tonight, of course, is Shay Woods. And you can listen to us so many different ways. Of course, the traditional way, of course, when I got here 14 years ago, was on the old-fashioned radio. And for our young people who do not know, I say that radio, folks, is a rectangular device in the dash of your car. If it's got a knob that says on, you can turn it on. You can get all kinds of sounds out of that thing. So you might try that at 1450 AM. And again, 100.5, 101.9 FM. We simulcast on 3 frequencies here in Rutherford County. And you can get us, of course, on YouTube at News Radio WGNS, or you can just type in on YouTube, get on YouTube and type the Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and it'll pull us up, and there you'll get the dates of all my past shows. They're on there. You can go back and listen and take a look at folks that have been with us before from years past, and even from last week. And you can do the same with Facebook Live. We're on Facebook Live right now, and you can download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go. Listen whenever you wish. Check out Jason Qualls in the afternoons. Of course, he's being interrupted right now by a lot of baseball between MTSU and all that, which is understandable. We always step aside for MTSU sports and even for our high school sports. And that Brian Barrett and John Dinkins do a great job of. And So check out his show. He did great financial coaching, good advice, great guest. And, of course, my good friend Angela Bingham and Angie Renee, they're here every Sunday at 6 o'clock with Simplicity, and they do a great job. I mean, they're feeding people, they're working, they're having, community events. And, yes, I'm quite jealous of them, to be honest about it. But... At any rate, they haven't involved me in anything. But anyway, Shay Woods is here. Shay, how are you doing tonight?
I am well. Delighted to be here.
Got all your things from the kiddies, and for Mother's Day.
I did.
And they took good care of you, so I hear.
They better. I'm the only mom they have.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I think that should be enough to do it. And you have one that is still in St. Louis and another in Las Vegas, I believe you said.
I do.
Right.
I have
two.
two. And that's where they're looking. Yes, sir.
Okay. And you've been with us here in Vietnam for what, 8-9 years now?
Dodging the bombs.
Well, you should be getting used to it here in the midst of political season right now. And, it is this is a first for you. This is the first time you've ever done this. Yeah. I always say, if you want to make a difference, and I sit here and yap on the radio, but you people really make a difference.
I'm trying. I'm out here trying, Ed. I really am.
To put a ballot, to put your name on a ballot and give it a try.
Yes.
And that's okay. That's what we've got. A lot of folks that have done that on both sides of the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
And I respect anyone that does that. Really.
Thank you.
Thank you. And that says a lot. Now, did you get into this? I mean, what, did you lose a bet, or did somebody?
So I was in a meeting last week, and the question came up, why are you doing this? And I told them that I must have fell and bumped my head and woke up as somebody else, and everybody got a kick out of that. But to be honest, it called me versus me calling it. And I have been an advocate all my life, since I was a child. It's hard being in the 3rd grade wearing glasses. So I had to be an advocate for myself, for the bullies who didn't like kids with glasses. Then as I had kids, I became an advocate at the schools. And I volunteer with CASA, which is a court-appointed advocate for kids who are in foster care.
Sure.
I currently sit on the Juvenile Detention Board here in Rutherford County.
Right.
And so I've just been of service. And I'm currently a part of 3 nonprofit organizations. And I sit on the board of those, and they're doing great work in the community. And so if my voice is heard there, if I put my voice on the bigger stage, what all could I do for the people? And so for me, it's about, in a nutshell, my campaign is strictly, I have a little slogan that says, have your say with Shay. And what that means to me is allowing District 15 to actually do that and have their say and be able to speak and make sure that their voice is at the table.
I'm going to say something that this just popped in my, and that's the way this broadcast goes. I don't use a planned out. No. It's not an attack. I was just saying, you're on 2 or 3 different boards with volunteer committees. Goodness knows we've got a lot of volunteers. We've got so many outfits that are helping, so many organizations that are helping. Where has government gone in all this? Because it seemed like everywhere I turn around, there's another organization. We're going to start feeding some people here in this area of our community, and we just, we'd appreciate your help. Where is government right now?
Well, hopefully when you put the right people in, government steps up and does its part. You have to put the right people in there.
I'm not against the volunteers. Everybody does a great job,
Yes.
And you would have to go back to the traditional, the Salvation Armies and things like that. And that, when I was growing up, that was the Salvation Army, and then you might have had, and then some of the churches would help out. But now we have so many volunteers. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying. Where is government in all this when people need help? I mean, I don't see them. I don't see many in government stepping up to to the plate.
Well,
we've got
sometimes
hungry kids over here that need to be.
When others don't do their part, you have to step in and do your part to help other people, and that's what makes a good community. So.
Right.
Kudos to Rutherford County for doing that.
Well, let's get this out of the way right now, because we were just talking about something before you come in here. You want free lunch for these kids too in our Rutherford County.
I do. I do. I don't feel like kids should be hungry.
Right.
And how do we expect them to work at their best if they're worried about when they're going to get their next meal, or if they're going to get their next meal?
Yeah. Any teacher will tell you that it's vitally important. Good nutrition is and they can tell by the middle of the morning what kids have had a bite to eat and others haven't.
And if we are, as adults, get hangry because we have not eaten, just imagine being a kid.
Good term.
Yeah.
Right.
Just imagine being a kid and not having the opportunity to eat.
I've had many teachers over the years tell me they could tell, when little Billy or little Sissy, they could tell they didn't have adequate nutrition. Just simply as, good Lord, just just an apple or orange or whatever, just something to kick off their morning.
I think that should be the least of their worries. Their children, they should not be worried about food.
Right. And I'm going to tell you, it seems, I know it's not, but I'm guessing anywhere from 15 to 18 million to feed these children. And I know we've got about over 50,000 now, I'm sure, students here in Rutherford County. Mm-hmm. I understand. But we're already paying for many of those, and I have no objection to it. That's fine. I don't have a problem. Let's just go ahead and feed the rest of them.
It's about making sure that we have this budget. It's about making sure that our priorities are set in a manner in how we distribute the funds.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I feel like kids are our responsibility.
Right.
As a whole, they're all our responsibility.
They are. All of those, because these children are going to be living in our communities as we grow up, and everybody needs a handout sometime. Everybody needs to reach that hand out to pull them up when they're down.
Nobody gets through life alone.
No, I didn't. No, my wife and I didn't. No, it's you gotta help out where you can, when you can. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give Miss Woods full yield of her time. If we can right now, let's go to our first couple of breaks, Connor, if we could. You're listening. Miss Shay Woods is here with us. She's running for your county commission vote on the Democrat ticket in District 15, not 7, 15. And we're going to go to our first break and be back with you right after this. Ed Raymer, stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. They've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com. right, and we are back. Thank you to our sponsors, Tim Mullins at Mullins Jewelers. Thank you. They've only been in business around 100 years, so you might want to watch that bunch. I think they're going to be here for the long haul. Just to be honest with you, Shay, you've got on your card here. We were talking during break. You know, on the back is it's concise and right down to the issues: voice and decisions, real accountability, transparent government, proactive planning. And we were talking about this before you come in. How do we get people back involved in elections? Just to be, you know, because as I've said so many times before, and I'm tired of it, you know, I've got good friends that, you know, that I had, especially in Kentucky and here, and you go to, well, I guess I should have voted, but I didn't. You know, how do we stop this and get these people involved again?
While I'm out speaking to people, there's a lack of trust in our local government.
Yep.
And so in order for people to feel comfortable, they have to trust you.
Right.
And so me being HR for 20 some odd years, my thing is people management. And so that's what I want to bring into this atmosphere. This is what I want to bring to the table. I feel like if we educate the people, they will be more engaged. It's hard to be engaged in something you know nothing about.
Sure.
So
that's true.
Yes. So if you're out talking to the people, and one of the things that I want to do once I'm elected is to have quarterly town halls where I bring the agenda from the county commission. We discuss what's going on, what's the next vote, what does it mean if we vote this way, what are the pros and cons if we vote the other way, and have open discussion with the residents.
Where are we on this thing?
Right, and they're able to ask questions.
Here's what we've been doing, in case you've missed it, because let's face it, parents, you were at the baseball game, you were at the softball game, you were at dance practice, you were at band recitals, whatever the case might be. People have their lives going on, and that in essence is what you're doing by taking on this job, asking to take it on and say, hey, you know, this end of it I'll take care of here with your trust in mind.
Correct, because what's happening now is community hurt. And it is a real thing, and it is happening to Rutherford County. And so before we can move forward with all these great plans and things of that nature, we have to get the people back on board. And so that's what I'm running for, to make sure that the people have their seat back at the table, to make sure that the people in District 15 understand the pros and cons of any and all decisions that we make, for them to have an opportunity to get their questions asked or concerns. They don't feel seen and they don't feel heard.
Right.
And if a community doesn't feel seen and heard, how do they feel represented?
Right.
So I'm here to represent them.
Sure.
So because I'm going to listen.
Now, to clear this up, in 15, Craig Harris had this district.
Correct.
He ran for county mayor.
Correct.
And of course, he was defeated by Randy Allen.
Okay.
And so that left you and who's your opponent?
I don't have now we're out of the primary, so there is no.
Yeah, but on the other side.
But I do have a Republican
opponent.
Yes.
Is?
His name is Sean McGowan.
Sean McGowan. Okay. So, have you how many people live in your district? Do you have those?
Well, normally,
and I know that's hard to ascertain.
In 2022, it's not necessarily how many people are in the district, because the issue is the people getting off the couch and going to the polls.
That's
to vote.
true. You're right.
So the question is, how many people are voting in the district?
Right.
And so in 2022, during the presidential election, there were 3,600 people that voted.
So a little less than 4,000.
So now we're going to have probably half of that, because it's not a presidential election, it's just a local election, which is extremely important.
Right.
Probably more important than our presidential election.
That's right.
We can't get the people to quite come on board to go out and vote. And so we got to change that somehow, some way. And it starts, by education, by informing the people about what it is, what's going on, what is it that the local government does, how it affects their everyday life, which I don't think they some don't quite understand that.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I think, Shay, and is for people, your voice does matter.
It does.
Your vote does count.
It does.
I mean, we have elections in this country. I mean, this thing of, well, my vote don't count anymore. That's only in a presidential election at the very top. That's the Electoral College. That's it.
Yeah, I think they get confused.
They get confused.
Yeah, because they don't know that in the local election, it's a 1-for-1.
That's it.
Yes.
And there are people that are winning elections by 2 or 3 votes.
Yes.
Or losing them by 2 or 3 votes.
Correct. And your vote does count, and
Right.
it does matter. And if it's somebody on the ballot that you align with, that you feel can get the job done, i.e. me, then you go to the ballot, you let your voice be heard, you make that vote because it counts.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. And, for people to feel confident that at least someone cares
Correct.
to look after their interest and look after their tax dollars.
Yes.
It's that simple,
And I think that's where I get people with the county, because a lot of people are like, what is a county commissioner? What do they do?
Right.
And I was like, well, the most important thing that you will probably say is your tax dollars. So your personal property tax is one of the things that they decide.
Right.
And you have to make sure that you're putting the people in there who care about your money and who will be good stewards of your money, because you work hard for that.
As though it was your own personal money.
Right.
Because in a way, when they've paid it, for all you commissioners, it is, you're the people making the decision now.
Yes.
Not us, the voter. We've already paid our taxes. And the thing I think that I found out about a lot of people, most people don't mind paying taxes.
Well, you have to let them know what it's for.
Right. Yeah.
And so
if you let
you
people
just
know
can't-
what it's for,
right.
They generally, here's what we're doing, and when you can get them to sit down long enough and say, here's what we need and here's what has to be done, or
And that
whatever.
goes back to the educational piece. So once you open the communication with your district and they start to trust you and listen to you, that's when you can get in to educate them on things of that nature. And if you
Right.
have an open communication with them, they will listen. And they may not mind if that was the case,
Right.
to your point that you were stating.
Sure. Yeah. But I really, really hope, and I think, if anything's happened through this last several years, I think some people, not all people, but some people are starting to wake up and say,
I hope so.
maybe I ought to get out here and at least vote.
Yes, if this week was not a testament to that, with Memphis and the remapping, and I know that's probably a whole nother show, and we're not going to go there, but this was an eye-opening. It's an eye-opening situation for all of us, and we need to make sure we put people in places that hear our voices.
And this was so unnecessary. It didn't need. This did not need to happen, but it has. And now we've got to roll with it.
We do.
And the secret to that is getting Democrats up off their backside and get to the poll and start voting.
Yes, educating them on the issues at hand and the matters at hand.
I had one guy, he was running a few years back, and he'd never run before. And so he was green. He didn't know, he'd never done this. I said, you got to get out and go meet the people. So he got in his district, and he went to an apartment complex. And so people were coming home from work, and he was out there, and he was giving out his card, and say, our representative, he's a Republican. Okay, well, okay. So, well, who is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know who it is. I said, okay, well, what have they done for you lately? Couldn't answer.
Mm-hmm.
He said, well, I want to tell you. He said, I am a Democrat. He said, but I'm here and I'm asking for your vote. And he ran a very respectable race.
But Ed, to be honest, being local, it shouldn't matter what side of the fence you lean on, because it's about the people.
Well, that's true.
And
That's
so
true.
it should be for the betterment of the people, not the betterment of the party.
Consequently, your color purple.
Yes. Color. My campaign color is
and
purple.
And her campaign color right here, folks. It's right here on
Yes.
it's purple.
And it's purple for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's the two primary colors, red and blue, mixed together, makes purple.
Yeah, it happens to be these happen to be purple and gold, which are the Smyrna Bulldog colors. We'll talk about that later. But
But that is not why it was chosen. I feel like if we move the politics out of the way and we put people in the forefront, we will be better for it as a community.
Well, I am so glad to see I'm always glad to see someone like yourself. You've decided to do this, and there is no better way. I want to tell you something, Shay. There is no better way for you to spend, $80,000 or $90,000 than to get into this.
Well, I won't have $80,000 or $90,000 to spend.
And take the second mortgage on your home, and because you're certainly not doing it. And I've told every candidate, yay or nay, whichever side of the aisle they're on, you're certainly not doing this for the money.
No,
because
I am not.
The job doesn't pay. I mean, all in all, I think you might make $1,000 a month,
Yeah.
which
I am doing it for the people in the community,
right?
Who deserve to be heard,
right?
Like we all do. Nothing more.
Sure. What do you have to get people involved? What do we have to do?
One, we have to be educated on what's going on.
Right.
So one of the things I did, I'm new to politics, as you stated. This is my first time running for an office.
But you voted in your life.
I have voted. I have voted in my
life.
life. And so one of the things that I did when I started this campaign is, before I even decided what my 3 pillars were going to be, I sent out a community survey.
Right.
So that the community can tell me what it is that is important to them. And that's where it has to start. It has to start with you communicating with the community to find out what's important. And so in that, looking at the survey responses, the main thing was they don't feel heard.
Right.
They don't see transparency and accountability.
Right.
And so that's why my first pillar is community voice. The second thing was the growth. We can't get around it. It's coming. It's not coming. It's here.
It's here.
And it's going to continue to happen. And growth is a good thing. And we need to make sure that we see it in that manner. We want our bank accounts to grow. We want our business to grow. We want our organizations to grow.
Right.
And so therefore growth is not a bad thing, but it's about how you manage the growth.
Right.
And in a way that is advantageous for all and not just some.
Sure.
And I think we're missing the mark on the managing part of our growth. And it's making people upset. It's making people angry. And so that is part of the reason why they also don't feel heard. Okay. And then the last thing is the left side is not talking to the right side.
No, not anymore.
And so we need bridge builders. And so my last thing is about building bridges, not just left side, right side, but community and local government. It's our public service and our local government. It's our 4 different cities within this county.
That's right.
That operate as silos instead of one unit and one Rutherford. And so I'm about community and making things work. Since I've been in HR, it's about looking at the facts, bringing it together, and finding positive solutions to fix it.
Right. Sure. And, I am encouraged by the amount. Lots of times, wife goes to bed at night, and I'll go back in our office and I'll sit and I'll pull up a county meeting, or I'll pull up a county school board meeting, and the information is there. If you're willing to sit now, folks, if you want to know what this lady wants to do, go watch a county commission meeting, and sometimes they run into 2-3 hours.
They do.
This is what she's applying for. To sit for 2 or 3 hours.
I said I bumped my hair. Remember that part?
I'm telling you. And, and I'll look and say, well, okay, I'll look at this meeting and say, wow, 3 hours, great day, But it goes by when and you have people in the community on certain meetings. They public comment. They're free to comment.
They are.
And but it's almost like, okay, public comment's over now. Let's move on with what we're here for. Well, the public comment is why you're here. Mm-hmm. And yes, some of the comments that night may have not been about the business at hand, but these people have a right to be heard.
They have a right to voice how they feel and their concerns and what they think about it.
And that will start with you as their representative.
Correct.
With Rutherford County.
Yes, because I feel like being in the seat gives you more leverage than you're doing the public comments.
Right.
So if I'm in the seat asking the questions you want answers to, you're more apt to get your answer directly than if you did it in public comment. Because in public comment, you're just stating. No one comes back to you and give you answers to the questions.
Right.
So you need to have that relationship with your county commission so that you get the answers to the questions.
Sure.
Yeah.
You know Hope Oliver?
I do know Hope Oliver.
She owes me $3.
I'll see what she can do about that.
Be sure and mention that to her.
I'll let her know. I'll let her know you're holding a grudge because she owes you $3.
I'm just trying to let everybody know she owes me that $3. She should have bet on Dallas, I told her. But she's a good one.
She is.
You know, and when I see Hope, and I watch those meetings, Hope asked a lot of questions.
Yes.
And I thought, you know, some of those people seem a little annoyed by that. I mean, what do you think you're there for?
Correct. Well, I think they forget that they were elected from the public. I think they forget that piece.
I know. I mean, what do you think she was put there for? Do you think she was put there just for potted plant?
Yeah.
You know, come on.
And she's asking questions that her community wants answers to.
Her community wants the answers to.
Yes.
They want to know.
Correct.
And one of the bigger questions is, how much is this going to cost?
Cost them.
Cost them, right. It's going to cost because it is. But, you know, it is just a pleasure to meet you. It is, and I'm glad you're here, and I hope you'll be back, because now the big election, the primaries are over now.
They are.
They are. I hate to say this, folks, but that weeded out a lot of folks for me, because the phone has been ringing, and I'm telling you, and I appreciate all of you. I really do. But now the primaries are out of the way, and we're going to get right down to it. And I guess you have really already started. As far as the campaign, the long process, and it'll be August the 6th.
Right. So early voting starts July the 17th through August the 1st.
Right.
And election day is August 6th.
Okay.
Yes.
We have a caller on the line. Yeah. Caller, please go ahead. You're on with Ed Raymer and Shay Woods. Go ahead.
Hello, Ed Raymer and Shay Woods. How are you tonight?
Hello.
I'm going to guess this is Carolyn.
That would be me.
Hey, you owe me $3 too. You owe me $3 too on that bet we had.
Okay.
You know, I had to throw you a curve right off the bat. So, how are you doing?
I am good.
Good Mother's Day?
Oh, man, absolutely amazing Mother's Day.
How about a Grandmother's Day?
Look, she found her way back to my house. I did not intend for that to happen. It is what it is.
Carolyn, I have a wonderful young lady up here that is, she's attempting to stake her claim. You got any advice for her? Because you've had your name on a ballot a time or two.
Look, I am just excited that, number one, that she's actually running, and to just let her know that she absolutely has my full support. And it's so interesting. Everything that she said tonight have been things that I have echoed in regards to education, getting out there. At this point in time, we have got to have boots on the ground.
We do.
And, you know, it gets really interesting. I was looking at those races in regards to Republicans and Democrats and how they fared in the primary. And because we don't vote, we know exactly, you know, the numbers that we need, and we're going to need them for both sides. And I'm just excited to hear her talk about trying to work with both sides in order to effectively bring about the necessary change that we have. So Shay knows that she's got my full support. And so if there's anything that I can do to assist, I'm always there. But I just definitely, look, I wanted to get a word in edgewise because it has a tendency to take over the conversation.
Well,
okay,
thank
lady.
you for
All
your
right.
support. Thank
okay,
you for
ladies,
your
I'll just leave the rest of the show with you. Go ahead, Carolyn. What list of questions do you have? Other than to attack me.
Well, you know, actually, I had a question for her, but she answered the question.
Oh, good. Look at there.
So, yeah. So, you know, I was like, okay. And I typed, look, I've been on YouTube. I was on Facebook. I'm like, okay, how can I get this thing to where I can get some attention? And what's that phone number? So I thought I'd give you guys, look, I'm watching you on YouTube.
Well, thank you.
Super excited to be able to get in here and just let her know, again, I love what I'm hearing, and she's got my full support. Even though I'm not in District 15, I'll be there for her.
And you might know somebody in District 15, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm telling you. So the important thing is the granddaughter's doing okay.
Oh, man. It's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you. So now, Carolyn, and I've followed this child as she's come into this world. How old is she now?
She's 5. She's getting ready to graduate kindergarten.
Oh.
And
Okay.
heading to first grade in August.
All right. Where do you stand, for example, as far as school lunches? I think I know, but I'm going to ask anyway.
Look, you already know. Honestly, I think that every child deserves a free lunch, whether they have the ability to pay for it or not. Now, many of the Murfreesboro City schools have that available to to the students, especially in those more economically disadvantaged areas. But it is absolutely, not only do they need those meals during the school year, but they also need those meals in the summertime as well.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They do.
And as we've stated, a lot of times, some of these children, this may be the most nutrition they get during a day.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I'm going to keep banging the drum, and I'm not going to shut up about it because, of all the money we spend for schools and all the other, and for roads and infrastructure, I understand that, but do not set aside, some cash to feed these kids. I mean, and we're talking about children that really need it.
Absolutely. And look, and if we can get some I'm really excited about what I've seen so far as the Rutherford County School Board. So they're going to be a number of races that I'm actually really looking forward to come August. So
sure.
they have been able to take 2 of the pieces off of the chessboard, and hopefully we can replace them, with a king, a queen, and a knight or something, and take those pawns out of the picture.
Yeah, I read between the lines here. I know what you're saying. Sure, I understand. And, yeah, and, who knows? I may walk in there and just pound that podium for 3 minutes one of these nights for free school lunch. What do you think?
Hey, I'll be there with you.
I'll guarantee you some of them are listening tonight, and they're saying, oh, no, not this guy.
Well, if it rains a lunch, then so be it, right?
That's right.
Right.
Do what, Carolyn? I'm sorry.
Nothing. Good talking to you guys. And again, Shay,
thanks, Carolyn.
Support you.
Thank you, ma'am.
You guys have a good night, and I'm gonna try to not step over my grandbaby while I'm
Thank you, ma'am.
Carolyn Cox, thank you so much. We appreciate her. She has been one of the. I am so glad she got involved. Our paths crossed.
Okay.
And now you want to talk about a worker.
I can tell because you knew her voice as soon as she called in.
Let me tell you, Carolyn Cox is a worker.
Yes.
I mean, she don't just talk about it. She's not like me. She don't just talk.
She has actions with her words.
She does action with her words. She does.
She has actions with her words.
And really, she is, she's the real deal. Mm-hmm. She really is. We're going to go to our last break. Connor, if we could, let's do that. And I'm going to grab a cup of coffee. Miss Shay probably needs a glass of water by now. She may want a bus ticket out of here, but I do have her handcuffed to the desk, so we're going to keep her here for another 20 minutes. Hey, and we'll be back with you right after this. Stay with us, folks. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
And I want to tell you about a great friend of ours, J. Mullins Jewelers. You know, they've been in this county for going on 100 years now. And their new location is 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. Jewelry for any and all occasions, weddings, birthdays, of course, all holidays, Christmas and everything, getting real busy around the Christmas holidays. Check them out at 1640 Memorial Boulevard, right here in Murfreesboro. You know, J. Mullins Jewelers. Can't beat it.
It's okay to not be okay. I'm Thomas Capps, and this is Tennessee Home and Farm Radio.
More has to be done.
For Sandra and Kenneth Bracey, Mental Health Awareness Month, it's close to home. Proudly farming on the Tennessee-Kentucky line in Robertson County, the Braceys raised their 2 kids on the farm, raising row crops and tobacco mostly. Their son Jason followed in their footsteps, returning to the farm after a brief stint in Michigan working for a company selling agriculture products. Jason, described by his parents as a people person, loved to laugh and spend time with family and friends. But in his early adult years, he began experiencing depression.
If you had given me a list of 100 kids that would eventually, suffer depression, Jason's name would not even have been on the list. And he called me one day and he said, Mom, he said, can we talk? And I said, well, of course. And he said, I don't know what's wrong with me. He said, I don't want to wake up in the morning. During the day, I want to sleep all the time. I don't want to talk to anybody. He said, I can't get my work done.
With guidance from his parents, Jason got help from professionals and became himself again. After being prescribed antidepressants, Kenneth and Jason began farming together. Over time, though, Jason stopped taking his medication and depression set back in. Sadly, in 2010, Jason died by suicide. It's been 16 years, but the hurt and pain of losing Jason is still heavy. Now their mission is to help others, especially farmers.
Farmers wear so many hats, from financing to trading equipment to buying land, leasing land. I mean, there's something going on all the time.
At that moment, whatever question Jason had in his head, he couldn't see anything but darkness. If anybody ever has any thoughts, just stop and think again and just find somebody to talk to.
If you're in crisis, call 988 to get help. And remember, the world is a better place with all of us in it. For Tennessee Home and Farm Radio, I'm Thomas Capps.
And we're back. Ed Raymer with you. Shay Woods,
yes,
District
sir.
15. What do you want to when I have people on here, I finally wind up and say, what are you looking for? Now, you were talking about going to the people that run these organizations or these branches of government and say, what do you need?
Yes.
What do you want? So, elaborate on that, please.
So one of the pillars is building bridges. And creating this one Rutherford. And so in order to build the bridges, you have to have the communications with the people in these organizations who sit in these seats. And so, for example, one of the things that is hitting hard is because of the growth is affordability here. It's getting extremely expensive to live here. And so tomorrow I actually have a meeting with someone who works for the Housing Authority so that I can understand where are the pitfalls.
Right.
Where can the county commissioner fit into this? How does the decisions that we make affect the people directly, because the housing authority actually speaks with those people? So I feel like we need to get and have these relationships with these different organizations, i.e. I went to a couple of town halls, and one of the things that the sheriff, the candidates were speaking about for sheriff is this new jail that they want to bring.
Exactly.
And so one of my questions to them in the town hall was about the percentage of mental health patients. And are they getting what they need? And I was alarmed by the numbers. It was 80% women, 40% men. Those were extremely high numbers. And so my ideal that kept hitting me in the head is, we're willing to spend all this money on a new jail system, but what are we going to do with the mental health piece for these people who need the help? And so one of the candidates, Steve Spence, I had a conversation with him after the forum, and we had a little detailed conversation, and he invited me to the jail. Right. And so I went to the adult detention center, and I took a tour for myself, because I feel like if we're voting on these things and these issues affect the community, we owe it to the community to at least visit the places to see what is going on, what people are talking about. Why are they saying they need X, Y, and Z? Sure. Show me. And so I'm about making these connections and having the conversations and putting it all on the table and being able to weed out the things that don't make sense so that we're left with the things that do.
Right. You know, I had Sheriff Fitzhugh. He's been up here 2 or 3 times with us on this broadcast, you know. And I had talked to him once. We were talking on the phone. We weren't talking on the air about this. And he said he had, or we may have, I can't remember, but he said he had an elevator in the jail out there at that time. And it was broken down, and they could not even get parts for it. Mm-hmm. See, these are things people don't see.
Right.
And a jail is just like a hospital. It runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
It's like a city within a city.
It is. Yeah. It never closes. So these elevators are constantly moving up and down, probably less during the evening hours, of course. But, I mean, they've got to work. And this was a company they'd put in, and apparently the company that did the elevator was apparently out of business. And even in this day and time, with internet, he said his people had searched around the world, literally, to find parts for this elevator. Couldn't find them.
I understand that the jail is aging.
Yes.
And that things are going to break down. And I did have that discussion as well about the elevator and it costing, I want to say $50,000 is what the elevator costs to replace. And
did they replace it? They fixed. You're ahead of me then.
Yeah,
okay.
They did fix the elevator. It is now operating, but it was eye opening for me because it was things I didn't think about, and that was something that I did not think about.
I didn't
with it
either.
Being of aging, how things are breaking, and then you can't find pieces or parts or even people to even fix it anymore because they don't carry whatever the brand is. Right.
And I mean, and I'd never thought about that when you brought that up.
Yeah.
I
was even able to, they invited me to sit in on one of the on the medical meetings. So I was able to understand how they operate in that aspect too. And I think that was something that was eye-opening for me as well, is that they are their own little hospital. And they're not only treating patients from in the hospital, but people come in that have ailments or disabilities, and you have to have ADA compliance with some people, and some people need bottom bunks. Even though I'm HR, I didn't think about having to have a bottom bunk because you have a disability, and do we have enough bottom bunks to even service the inmate that's trying to come in? So it was eye-opening, but
it sounds
mental
like it
health
was.
is still high on my radar, and there needs to be a better way in which we service our mental health community.
Right. Okay. So, with that said, and then we get into schools, and the biggest part of the county budget is our school system.
It is. And I would love to be able, I don't know if the principals will have time to meet with me before the end of the school year, but I would love to have an opportunity. Siegel is in my district, and I would love to be able to meet with the elementary, the middle, and the high school principal to figure out what is their needs. Like we can determine or make up or assume, and we know what happens when you assume.
I understand.
What is needed in the schools and what's needed for one child may not be needed for another. And so as a parent, I could be griping about something that is needed, but it's only for my child and not for everyone else. And so I think they have the real answers. So it's about going to the people with the answers and having the conversations.
Sure.
So.
And I think another thing, Shay, is not being afraid to listen to the answer.
No.
Okay, that answer. Hey, Dave, I don't want to hear that answer. That's going to cost money for everybody. I don't want to have to go back to my constituents and tell them. But sometimes that's what the job is.
That is the job.
Because
that is the job.
This is what we have, and here's why we need X amount of dollars, whatever it may be.
Correct.
So. Well, I think you're on the right track, going the right way, and it's just a pleasure to meet you, and to have someone, you've got a game plan here, and it's very simple. This is not complicated.
No, it's
now it can get complicated as time goes along, but I'm sure Hope Oliver would tell you.
I'm sure she will.
I'm sure she will. Yeah, she'll probably have a meeting. She'll probably pull you aside a time or two. But these things are important, and to go to those teachers and principals and say, and each of those respective principals at least, and say, where are we failing you? Because a teacher's job. And I've mentioned this a lot, in the day when I was out building houses, whatever we had to be on job site early, you go by your neighborhood schools, and there's cars there already, and it's those teachers.
And I'm aware that we do have a school board for a reason, and the school board does their part of it, but there is a piece. The budget piece is what comes over to the county commission, and there's always that saying: "If it takes a village to raise it takes a village to raise a child." You've heard that.
I
right?
agree.
So to me, if it's going to take a village to raise a child, what is it going to take to raise a community? And so to me, in order to raise a community, there has to be collaborations, because we're all vested in this.
Yeah.
It affects us all, and so we need to be able to collaborate together for the betterment of us all.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, I agree. It's and we are in a tough time here in Rutherford County. It's there because of our tremendous growth. But people have come here, and we get into this just in election season. Just about every broadcast we do, people came here. Why are you here? Well, you had a good school system. And that's why they're here. It kept my wife and I here when our children were younger.
Safety in schools bring families.
Sure.
Yeah.
And how do you feel about this? How do you feel about this public money going for private schools?
I am not for vouchers.
You want to go to a break?
You don't have to go for a break. I know my answer.
Okay, go ahead.
I am not for vouchers, but that has nothing to do with county commission. But I do feel as though we need money going into our public schools.
Yeah, but what I was getting at is you allocate the money for the school board.
Okay.
And if you could have an input there and say, hey, this money is not for, but now I know you don't, you can't put tags on it,
right.
But
I'm not for the vouchers.
Right.
I'm for the public schools all the way.
Sure.
I am a product of a public school, and I think it did me and served me well.
I think it did. But now for some of us, it didn't work out so good.
Are you on that list, Ed? Are you on the list?
Well, I ain't a saying. You use your own judgment. No, I mean, I am. Obviously, we are too. And the wife and I are. Public schools were very good to our children and had some. Yeah, you have a difference with a teacher here and there. That's going to happen. And sure, this difference is of opinion. But they are the teacher. I think they do know better than I, and they have the education. I do not. And in this, you've got 20 other people that you're going to have to learn to work with when you win this election. How's that going to work for you?
Well, Ed, I've been in HR for almost 30 years, so 20 some odd years, and I've sat at the table with many CEOs and many CFOs, and we've talked budget, and every single time I have to remind them, if it was not for the people, you would not be here. And so it's the same here. If the people left the city or the county, then where would we be? So therefore, we need to take care of the people here too, and it's my responsibility to remind the 20 that the people are important.
Right. The people. That's the reason you're doing what you're doing.
Correct. Because the people are important.
Right. So once again, your district is you are around Sportscom.
So I am District 15.
District 15.
If you are on Memorial at Sportscom, I am as far north as the VA. If you hit the VA, you went too far.
Gotcha.
And then I'm over to Siegel and back to halfway through Compton. And then if you come back down Memorial and you're going south, once you hit Clark, that's where I end. If you hit Donut Country, you went too far. And so I'm over.
Well, we got to hit Donut Country.
Well, then you exit my district. So you got to find donuts somewhere else within my district.
Okay, well, you better find something.
And then I'm over far west is Sulphur Springs, and as far east is Pitt. So if you hit John Pitter or Oakland High School, you went too far.
So you're covering quite a bit of ground there.
I got my little section. I'm happy with my little section.
Your little section.
It's a little section.
Yeah, okay. We'll see. You're doing great,
Thank you, sir.
you know, I know now, and again, like I said last week or this past week, get the primaries out of the way and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody can sharpen the axe and get ready to, you know, because you've got another one, June, July. You got a couple of months here. You're going to have to hit it hard.
I am.
You know,
I am. I'm ready.
Well, 3 months really. We're just into May, so you've got.
We're halfway through it, so.
Yeah, you're going to have to hit it hard. So, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Because I've seen many a candidate come through here, and you know, it's I think there's one thing you maybe already you'll be changed once you go through this process. Yeah, I don't think you'll look at things different.
I'm sure.
I don't think you'll look at things the same ever again, as far as government goes.
But that's life, right?
That's
you go
it.
through
That's what it's all about.
different journeys, and they teach you different things, and hopefully you come out better than it was when you went into it. So
that's right.
It's just going to make me better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And again, you know, my hat's off to anyone that is brave enough to put their name on a ballot.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I've reached the age, and what I do here, I never will. You know, I don't see nobody's running down the street after
I
me.
said that at one point too, Ed. Though, and look where I'm at.
Yeah, but you're much younger. I mean, you've got a lot more going for you. You know. No one's chasing me down the street begging me to sign up to do anything, so I can take, including here. And but that's okay, you know. But you know, we've got a couple minutes left here. Anything else that we've left out? Anything you'd like to mention?
I just want to say I am humbled by this opportunity.
Okay.
To be in this position, and to early voting starts July the 17th through August the 1st.
Right.
And election day is August the 6th. And you get to vote for Shay Woods for County Commission District 15.
You sure do.
Have your say with Shay.
Have your say with Shay.
Have your say with Shay.
I'll tell you what, man, you've covered all the bases. And I don't think anybody ever had nobody's ever had a slogan coming in here. You know.
They will now.
Yeah. Well,
they will now.
You're right. You're exactly right. Yeah, everybody goes on here, you know, that's what I said with Ed, you know, and so, you know.
But Ed, thank you for this opportunity and sharing your platform with me.
I know you're going to be with Angela here in a week or two, and you're going to be in Angela's broadcast.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Simplicity.
Yeah, in June.
You can't pick a better one, man. I'm telling you, she's something else, you know.
I know her.
Yeah, you know her.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Back down a little bit on that happiness. I don't trust anyone that happy.
Why is that?
I just don't trust happy people.
Connor, do you agree with that?
I don't trust anyone. You know, I never did in the morning. Any of these morning people, good morning, how are you? I don't trust anybody that's that happy that early in the morning. Okay.
I do. I say good morning.
No. But what time? I'm talking about at 5:30 in the morning.
Well, not that early.
Good morning. How are you?
Not
they're all dressed.
early.
The guy looks like he just stepped out of a bandbox or something. I don't trust you.
Are you hating a little bit over there, Ed, on the people who are so happy in the morning?
Okay, that's enough. We're going to get out of here. I don't know when I'm ever going to win an argument on my own little broadcast that I do. And I've never won one, especially with a bunch of women coming up here. I tell you what, man. Now I got to go home and face my wife. You should have been nicer to her. Okay.
Hey, it's Mother's Day. I got to win on Mother's Day.
Hey, y'all have had your say now. We're coming up on midnight. It's about over. And, like you said, what time is it? About 9 o'clock? Yeah. So, if no one told you they loved you today, well, you've still got about 3 hours. Shay Woods has been my guest this evening. She is running and asking for your vote in District 15 here at our county commission, and we're behind you all the way.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shay. And Connor, thank you. We're going to get out of here, and I'll tell you what, till next Sunday night at 6 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night.